Hello, and welcome to the Rankin Report for Sunday, June the 22nd, 2025. Hope everybody had a good Juneteenth, and thank you for joining us today. From the book of Galatians, Paul's letter to the Galatian church, 3 verses from that, beginning at chapter 4, verses 17 through 19. So this I say and affirm together with the Lord, that you walk no longer, just as the Gentiles also walk in the futility of their mind, being darkened in their understanding, excluded from the life of God because of the ignorance that is in them, because of the hardness of their heart. And they, having become callous, have given themselves over to sensuality for the practice of every kind of impurity with greediness. Then jumping to chapter 6, verse 12. You've heard this one before, but it bears repeating. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the powers, against the world forces of this darkness, against the spiritual forces of wickedness in the heavenly places. And finally, back to chapter 5, verse 1. Therefore, be imitators of God as beloved children. In the demonstrations that took place this past weekend, and now they wish to try to start up again for July 4th, I guess if it didn't work the first time, try it again, see? As part of the No Kings protests, a slogan is starting to emerge. No gods or kings, just men. In that phrase, the true colors, or perhaps better said, the core of the beliefs of the protesters begin to emerge. This is more than simply that they do not like President Trump or his policies. As the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence nears, the heart of their protests is an age-old question. Who is in charge? In every system, group, or collection of people that have ever set themselves up throughout history, and would today set themselves up against what has been established by the founders of this nation, the answer to that question is reduced to this essential. I do not wish to be ruled by this system or by the God of the founders. I myself wish to rule. The Gentile church in Galatia was being harassed by Jewish believers who insisted that Gentile converts must first be required to obey the law of Moses, with circumcision as the outward sign of that obedience, as a precondition before they could receive salvation. The Apostle Paul called the Judaizers out for this false doctrine. First, Paul declared that all believers are free from the law of Moses, which could only point out what sin is. Second, Paul correctly got to the heart of the matter that the Judaizers' ultimate goal, by adding preconditions that Jesus himself never established, was to have the Gentile believers honor the Judaizers and not necessarily Jesus. So it is with the woke, the protesters, and everyone else who wants to live under the philosophy of no gods or kings, just men. Essentially, the point of John Lennon's old song, Imagine, in a nutshell. And they want to be the men, quote unquote, or the women, or whatever. Do not be fooled by this line. They want to rule, not those already elected. This is why they claim that we are a democracy when we are not. We are a constitutional republic. Within that framework, government uses democracy to carry out its functions, but we as a whole do not operate as a pure democracy. What's the difference, you ask? The difference is found in two core principles that are likewise today used interchangeably to the point of being confused in the minds of many: liberty as opposed to freedom. This will take a little extra time to explain, so I'm going to go into this in detail in the next post. You, of course, are welcome to look up the differences for yourself, but I think you'll find that there's more to it than meets your average dictionary. I can say one thing: it is a matter of the question of responsibility and is charged with that, I should say. Keep also in prayer, please, the nation as the president makes decisions regarding what to do with the people in Iran. Pray for the people of Iran and the people of Israel, both of whom I believe are tired of this endless war and fighting and hatred that has been generated over the years. Pray for them and pray that the president is given wise counsel and the counsel of God himself. While you're doing that, of course, pray for the Great Awakening, no king but Jesus, independence forever. That's the Rankin Report for Sunday, June the 22nd, 2025. Thank you for watching. God bless you. Have a great day.